This is going to be a heavier video than what I'm used to covering here on the channel because when I started this, the idea was to cover the Ontario Hockey League, all the good things, how the races are going with the playoffs, all the milestone moments of players. But at times, too, there's going to be stories that are not the easiest to cover. And that's what's happening here today. And I'll cover it as best as I can. But yeah, like I said, it's a heavier video than what we're used to covering here on the channel. But starting off with today's news, Cam Allen, he was supposed to appear in court this morning after he was arrested for impaired driving back on February 8th. And what we've learned is that Allen and his defense lawyer actually appeared before a judge a week ago. And at that court appearance, he pleaded guilty to impaired driving. So just the one count. All the other charges have been dropped against Cam Allen, the defenseman of the London Knights. And with that, he has been sentenced to a 2-year probation. He's also been ordered to perform 100 hours of community service. He has to attend alcohol counseling, and they also gave him a 2-year driving ban. So those are the penalties that Cam Allen is facing, along with a $4,000 fine and a $1,200 victim surcharge fine. So that's the punishment for Cam Allen, who has been cooperating with authorities ever since his arrest. Even the London Knights, they had that statement shortly after saying that he is cooperating, and the Knights cooperating with the league. And now for Cam Allen and the London Knights, now they're going to wait for the response from the Ontario Hockey League, as he was suspended indefinitely at the time, pending the outcome of the court ruling. And now that we have the court's decision, we'll have to wait and see. Does Cam Allen receive a lengthy suspension? Does he return in the playoffs? Does he return before the playoffs? Or does he have an indefinite suspension that carries into the postseason? We'll have to wait and see how the Ontario Hockey League handles this. But the big step here is the fact that Cam Allen has pleaded guilty to impaired driving. I think it's great that he's taking responsibility for his actions and has not decided to fight this in court. I think that's a smart move here for Cam Allen, as he is a public figure, and he's being looked upon by young athletes, and he's taking it in stride right now. So there hasn't been any sort of comments from Allen. I don't expect there to be, but still, that's the news for today. We were waiting for today's date in the Cam Allen situation, and we have the news. He has pleaded guilty to impaired driving and has now 2-year probation here as a result of his actions. The next item is this is a tougher one to cover. We found out yesterday that the Peel Regional Police are investigating allegations of sexual assault involving 8 former members of the Mississauga Steelheads. This dates back to 2014. I'm not going to go into all the details around this situation as it's been described, but when I first read the headline that this was coming about, it was at first not again, and I know there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's the hockey culture and whatnot," but I think the big thing that's tough about this is the fact that we're reporting on it again. And I don't know if we can blame the hockey culture. Maybe it's sports culture. Bottom line is, people, depending on the circumstances, are going to make some poor decisions in life. And from what we're seeing right now, these are all allegations. Nothing has been proven in court, but it's so hard to read because these are young athletes who are away from home. They're doing life in a way that most of us don't get to experience. Not all of us are going to go live in another city to try and live out our dreams of becoming professional hockey players. And it's tough when you do see that a lot of these athletes, they are put on a pedestal in their communities because they are doing some amazing things on the ice, some of them also off the ice. And that's what we also miss, is that there's a lot of good that these athletes are doing, but it's usually one bad apple spoils the bunch. And of course, a lot of people looking at the rosters, figuring out, okay, who was on this team when these allegations occurred? And a lot of people, of course, pointing out Michael McLeod being on this team. And the reason for that is because Michael McLeod also facing those allegations in regards to the World Juniors Team Canada from 2018. There was the situation in London, which of course is now going before the court. So this is tough, and we did hear that something was coming back in October. At that time, they didn't identify the team. They said that the OPP were aware of these allegations and that they were taking them seriously. The OHL said they were taking them seriously. But yesterday it came out that it's Peel Regional Police investigating 8 former members of the Mississauga Steelheads, and we'll have to wait and see where this goes from here. Obviously, I'm not defending the players. I think the courts are going to have to decide how this all plays out. Where does this investigation go? Peel Regional Police, but still, I wanted to mention it here on the channel because this is OHL related, and this isn't the first time we've heard of these allegations. And you think back to all the hazing days and how the Ontario Hockey League has done a great job, I think, eliminating hazing, or at least in the public eye. We haven't heard any incidents recently. And for incidents such as this, going back to 2014, this is a bit around the time when they did start that movement to raise awareness about the treatment of women and the discrimination and whatnot and mental health. So there's still, I think, from the looks of this, a lot of growth and education that still needs to be made. But hopefully this serves as a reminder to players and those associated with the hockey programs across Canada and the US that, we need to be respectful of others. We need to be thinking about our actions, the pros and cons. This is what it comes down to. And, for the Mississauga Steelheads, they've now moved on to Brampton. And we'll see how this is all handled. We haven't heard anything yet from the Steelheads organization, as this is obviously it's going to be tough. And we'll see where this investigation goes from here. But still, like I said, this is such a heavy topic. I have kids, so I would love to see a world where we don't have to worry about our kids having these situations arise that they have to deal with. And I can't even imagine what the parents are feeling of the person who's come out as the victim in this, and then even the parents of these players who are now grown. They're now young adults now, some of them playing in the National Hockey League, but we don't know who was all involved. Obviously, that's not going to come out, but still some pretty serious allegations involving the Mississauga Steelheads from 2014. Moving on to some more current events. Of course, the Peterborough Petes set to take on the Ottawa 67s tonight. Now, what's significant about that is the fact that we still don't know at the time of recording, will Rob Wilson be on the bench? Because on Sunday, there was the confrontation between Wilson and Chris Millette down in Erie as the two coaches went off the bench and both went nose to nose as they had a disagreement about what was happening on the ice. Of course, the OHL has been investigating. We know that Wilson had a Zoom meeting with the player safety and whatnot. So we should have a decision in regards to whether or not it's a fine or a suspension for the head coach of the Peterborough Petes and for the Erie Otters. But right now, don't have that information. Watch it be posted as soon as I post this video. But if Wilson is suspended, they do have a plan in place. Associate coach Andrew Verner will run the bench, and assistant coach Pat O'Connor will then come out of the press box and join Nate Oak as the second assistant. So they do have a game plan in place if Wilson is not available to be the coach tonight for the Peterborough Petes. And with all the heavy news, why don't we end it on a positive, as the Winnipeg Jets have announced that Jacob Julien has signed his 3-year NHL Entry Level contract. So this is awesome for Julian. He's a 20-year-old playing in his 3rd season with the OHL's London Knights. And this season, he's got 45 points in 58 games, helping the league-leading London Knights to their amazing record. They won again last night against the Brantford Bulldogs in commanding fashion. But for Jacob Julien, a big congratulations to him signing with the Winnipeg Jets. This is a dream of all players as they go up the ranks. And for Julian, being selected by the Winnipeg Jets in the 5th round of the 2023 NHL Entry Draft, doing a great job with the Knights, and can't wait to see him when he does join the Winnipeg Jets at the National Hockey League level. So wanted to end this video on more of a positive note. And let me know how in the comments section down below your thoughts on any of these news items. Obviously, it's some heavy topics, but still, a good positive there for Jacob Julien. I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much for your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.